Alright students, today we are going to discuss the further remaining concepts of lines and angles. Let us see one more example based on what we have learned in the last lecture. In this figure, the figure is find out the value of y, where the angles given are, this is 2y degree, this angle is 5y degree, and this angle is 5y degree. This point, the intersection point is O, this is D, this is A, this is C, this is B, E and F. So we have to find out the value of y degree or the measure of angle y. So we see here that AOB AOB is a straight line because it is formed by two rays, ray OA and OB, which are in opposite direction, having their initial or terminating point common as O. That's why AOB forms a straight line. That's why it forms a straight angle. So angle AOB is 180 degree. The reason being that it's a straight angle. Now you can see that angle EOF is equals to angle DOC because they are vertically opposite angles. Angle EOF is equals to angle DOC as they are vertically opposite angles. And what we have learned in the last lecture is that vertically opposite angles are equal. So now we can apply the linear angle or the straight angle concept on angle AOD, angle DOC and angle COB as their sum is 180 degree. Angle AOD plus angle DOC plus angle COB is equals to 180 degree, and you can see that angle AOD is 2y degree, angle DOC is 5y degree because it is vertically opposite angle of angle EOF, and angle COB is 5y degree. From here I can calculate the value of y as left hand side reduces to 12y degree is equals to 180 degree. So y is equals to 180 degree divided by 12 is equals to 15 degree. Now we'll see some more concepts of lines and angles. First of all, let us see what are parallel lines. Two lines L and M in a same plane are said to be parallel if they do not intersect when produced infinitely on both the sides. Alright, first of all, you must be clear about the concept of line. Line is a collection of points in a plane extending indefinitely in both the direction. This is first line L, this is second line M. They are extending indefinitely in both the directions. These are parallel when they first of all must lie in the same plane and they do not intersect when produced indefinitely in both the direction, either in this direction or either in this direction. They must not intersect anywhere. Second is parallel rays. Two rays are parallel if the corresponding lines determined by them are parallel. Means this is first ray A whose terminating point is O, and this is second ray B whose terminating point is O dash. Then these two rays are parallel if the corresponding lines determined by them are parallel, or in other words the two rays must not intersect even if extended in both the direction. First of all, a ray is a section of line, because a line extends indefinitely in both the direction, but a ray extends only in one direction. The other direction has a terminating point. So a ray has a terminating point and it extends in one direction only. So two rays are parallel if they will not intersect if produced indefinitely in both the direction. In first in the direction in which ray is producing, we can produce it, but if produced forcefully in the other direction also, if both the rays do not intersect, then they are parallel. But this produced part which we have forcefully extended after the terminating point on the opposite side of extension of ray is not a part of ray. It is just to verify that either these rays are parallel or not. So two rays are parallel if they will not intersect each other even if extended indefinitely beyond their initial points. Third is parallel line segments. So it is clear that parallel line segments, to study parallel line segment, first of all we will know the concept of line segments. Line segment, as it is very clear by its name, it is segment of a line. A line segment is a portion of line. So a line is indefinitely extended in both the direction, but a line segment is a fixed portion of a line. So if L is a line extending in both the direction and I mark two distinct point A, B on this line, then the portion AB is known as line segment. AB is line segment of the line L. So AB is known as line segment. Now we have to discuss parallel line segments. So two line segments are parallel if their corresponding lines determined by them are parallel. What it means that two line segments are bounded between two fixed points. First line segment is bounded between two fixed points and the second line segment is bounded between two fixed points. They are parallel if I forcefully extend both these lines indefinitely in both the directions, and they will not intersect anywhere, either their original portion which is bounded between the points. Suppose AB is the line segment, then this portion between A point and B point is the portion of line segment, or it is the original line segment AB, and I forcefully extend line segment AB in leftward direction from point A and in rightward direction from point B. Similarly I have done with line segment CD. Now these extended portion, neither they intersect nor the main line segment AB and CD intersect anywhere in the plane, then these line segment AB and CD are parallel. Now we will study about angles made by a transversal. So for learning angles made by a transversal, first of all we will be knowing about what is a transversal. Transversal is a line which intersects two or more lines at distinct point, which intersect two or more lines at distinct points. Let us see one diagrammatic view of a transversal. Suppose these are two lines. Then any other line which intersect this pair of line at two distinct points. These are two lines L and M, and any other line, suppose X, intersecting the first two lines L and M at two distinct points at O and O dash. Then line X is a transversal for line L and M. This is the case when we have two lines, but transversal for a line being a transversal, it is not necessary that it must intersect only two lines. It must intersect two or more lines. So for a line to be a transversal, it must intersect at least two distinct lines at two distinct points. Suppose these are three lines L, M and N, and any other line, suppose X, intersect these three lines at three distinct points. Suppose A, B and C. Line X intersect the line L at A, line X intersect the line M at B, and line X intersect the line N at C. Then this line X is a transversal for lines L, M, N. Now I think the concept of transversal is clear. Now we'll see angles made by a transversal with two lines. First type of angles are exterior angles. The angles whose arm do not include the line segment of the transversal line segment of the transversal line between the main or the two lines which we are talking about are called exterior angles. Just go through this definition at least 3 or 4 times and it will be clear to you. The angles whose arms do not include the line segment of the transversal. Line segment of the transversal means the portion of the line transversal that is lying between the main lines, the main two lines which we are discussing about, which the transversal is intersecting. Alright, it is clear with the diagram. Suppose these are two lines. First line is L and this is second line M, and the transversal X, which is line X, is intersecting these two lines at O and O dash, two distinct points. Then according to the definition of the exterior angle, it is the angles whose arms do not include the line segment of the transversal which lies between the two lines. So the segment OO dash lies between the two lines L and M. So those angles whose arms do not include this common segment, this common line segment which lies between the two lines. So this angle and this angle, as you can see, I name it as angle 1, it as angle 2, this angle as angle 3, this angle as angle 4. Similarly here I name this angle as 5, this as angle 6, this 7, and this angle is 8. So you can see according to the definition, first of all check for angle 1. Angle 1, it is made by this portion. So this portion does not include, for making this angle 1, we do not require this segment which is lying between the two lines, the segment of the transversal which is lying between the two lines L and M, which is OO dash. So we do not require segment OO dash to form any arm of angle 1. Then according to the definition, angle 1 is an exterior angle. Similarly, you can verify for angle 2, it also does not require the common portion or the line segment of the transversal X which is lying between the two lines L and M. So angle 2 is also an exterior angle. Now for angle 3, checking for angle 3, we see that one of its arm is the portion of line segment OO dash which is lying between the two lines L and M. That's why angle 3 is not an exterior angle. Similarly, angle 4 is also not an exterior angle. Now you can verify angle 5 is also not an exterior angle, angle 6 is also not exterior, but angle 7 and angle 8 are exterior angles because they do not require the common portion OO dash or the line segment of the transversal X which lies between line line L and M. That's why angle 7 and angle 8 are exterior angles. Now we will talk about interior angles. Those angles whose arm include the line segment lying between the two main lines which the transversal is intersecting, those two lines, the portion which include between those two lines, so the angles whose arm include that portion of line segment is called interior angle. So in this diagram we can see that for angle 3, 4 and 5 and 6, to construct angle 3, angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6, we require the portion OO dash which is line segment of transversal X lying between main lines L and M to form one of their arms. That's why they are interior angles. So exterior angles and interior angles are opposite of each other. To define exterior angle, it is those angles whose arm do not include the line segment of the transversal which lies between the two intersecting lines or the two lines which we are talking about. Similarly, interior angles are those angles whose arm include the line segment lying between the two main lines, which in our case is L and M, lines L and M. Now we'll talk about corresponding angles. A pair of angles in which one arm of both the angles is on the same side of the transversal and their other arm are directed in the same direction is called a pair of corresponding angles. Let us visualize corresponding angles with the help of a diagram. Suppose these are two lines L and M, and this is a transversal line X intersecting L and M lines at two distinct points O and O dash. I'll name these angles as 1, this angle as 2, this angle as 3, this as 4, this angle as 5, this as 6, 7 and 8. Now according to the definition of corresponding angles, it is the pair of angles whose one arm lies on same side of the transversal and the other arms of the two angles is on the same direction or in the same direction directed towards. Let us check angle 1 and angle 2. Their one arm must be on the same side of the transversal. So we can see that their arm which is not common are on the other side of the transversal, and the common arm is formed by the transversal itself. So we cannot apply the definition of corresponding angles on angle 1 and angle 2. Let us check for angle 1 and 3. For angle 1 and 3, we will see that their one pair of arms is on the opposite side of transversal, and the other pair of arm, it is not directing in the same direction, or it is not sensing or moving in same direction. That's why angle 1 and 3, for this pair of angle we cannot apply the definition of corresponding angles. Similarly for angle 1 and 4 we cannot apply the definition. Now let us see for angle 1 and angle 5. One of the arms of both these angles are on the same side of the transversal. You can see here this arm which I am highlighting of angle 1 and this arm of angle 2 which I am highlighting are on the same side of the transversal X. Alright, and the other arm of angle 1, which is this arm, and other arm of angle 5, which is this arm, is directing in the same direction or in same sense. That's why angle 1 and angle 5 forms a pair of corresponding angles, because they satisfy the criteria of or the definition of corresponding angles. Similarly, when we check for various angles, we will get angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7, and angle 4 and angle 8. These angles forms the pair of corresponding angles. There is no other pair of corresponding angles for this diagram. Alright, now I think you are clear with the concept of corresponding angles.